we have some extremely terrifying news going on, guys.
So it looks like ICE is altering police databases to erase people. Like, erase people's records. Like, people who have Hispanic last names, getting rid of their social security number data, their driver's license information. So when you get pulled over, it doesn't look like you're a citizen.
They are trying to deport United States citizens by erasing them from databases. ICE is flagging people with Hispanic last names. So if you get stopped at a traffic light and they're asking you for your license and they say, oh, your license is not here, give me your social security number. Oh, your social security number is not here. Well, that probably means ICE removed you from the database so that they could deport you illegally.
I was driving and I noticed a cop bang a U-turn hard. Turned her blues on, came flying up behind me. So I parked in a bank parking lot just because it was out of the way and it's Sunday. And so I am sitting there. She walks up. She tells me why she pulled me over. It was because of a inspection sticker. Not a big deal, really. Asked for my ID, give her my ID, and then she comes back over after 4 or 5 minutes, and she's like, "Do you have an ID in any other states?" And I was like, "Yeah, here's the other states I've had IDs in." And so I'm not thinking much of it. I was like, okay, it must be a clerical issue or something. And she ends up coming back a few minutes later, and she's like, okay, can I get your social security number? I was like, that's a first. I've never had them ask for my social security number at any traffic stop, ever. So I'm like, okay, here's the social security number. Then like 5 minutes later again, she comes back. She's like, yeah, so I'm not pulling you up in any of our systems in any state you said you had a license in. She's like, I had to call my sergeant. I was like, okay, well, see how that goes then. So the sergeant ends up coming up. He asked me to step out of the car, but essentially plays back everything. And he's like, is this a real license? I was like, yeah, it's a real license. He's like, this is a real license from that state. I'm like, yeah, it is. He's like, so there's no like security codes or holographics or anything. I was like, I don't know. It's just the ID they give me. And I was like, I even have the motorcycle permit in my wallet still. So it's like, I have that one if you want to see that one. He's like, hold on then. So then they have me stand at the back of the cruiser. The officer originally pulled me over. She stands there with me while the sergeant's doing his thing. And I don't know, like 20 minutes later, he comes back over. He's like, I got it all squared away. You're all set. I was like, no, hold on. You just like basically told me I might be getting arrested, that you guys think I have a fake ID, which is another crime in and of itself. And I was like, basically, you guys told me you have no idea who I am or what I am, yet I gave you my license. What is happening? And then like, you asked for my social security number. That's never happened before. He's like, well, in all honesty, you can thank ICE for this one. I was like, what? He's like, your name. I was like, so because I have a Hispanic last name, I'm flagged in ICE? He's like, well, you're not just flagged, you're kind of removed from everything. So I almost got arrested because of a system with ICE flagging a US born citizen who spent my entire life in this country since the day I was born. 2 generations of my family have been born in the United States, and yet I got flagged. And the kicker is my last name isn't even Mexican, it's Spanish. So I am Hispanic, but the last name that we have is actually a Spaniard last name because my, grandfather had a thing for Mexican women, I guess. And he, so anyways, yeah, now I'm flagged. And he's like, yeah, this might keep happening to you now. Cool.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Hope you're all doing well. All right. So apparently now ICE is erasing people with the last name, with a Spanish last name from the database. Well, this story is coming from a young man who was allegedly pulled over by the police. He basically showed them his license, social security number, and they basically told him they could not find him in the system. And do you know what the cops told him? You might thank ICE for that. So now people are panicking. It's all over social media. It's going viral. Why would someone born in the United States with birthright citizenship actually be flagged by ICE just because they have a Spanish last name? So if you have a Spanish last name, you might want to watch this video. If you have a family member or a friend with a Spanish name, you might want to watch this video. Take care of yourselves. Let's take a look at these videos. I'll be back with more.
So it looks like ICE is altering police databases to erase people. Like erase people's records. Like people who have Hispanic last names, getting rid of their social security number data, their driver's license information. So when you get pulled over, it doesn't look like you're a fucking citizen. And they could do this to anybody. And there's a TikTok creator on here who is white cis dude, but posts a lot of anti-ICE kind of content like me. A lot of anti-establishment shit. And they had officers show up at their door, tell them they were not a citizen, and try to deport them because their records had been changed in the systems. And there is a current court case going on because of it. And I'm starting to see more and more stories of people being pulled over who are citizens who are having to prove their citizenship because their information isn't in databases, especially people with Hispanic last names.
So we have some extremely terrifying news going on, guys. So ICE is trying to get rid of and eliminate U.S. citizens. Yes, you heard me correctly. U.S. citizens. ICE is targeting people with Hispanic last names, and they are erasing them from the database in order to deport them illegally, without due process, without nobody knowing, because they're no longer in the database. Guys, if this doesn't fucking scare you, if this doesn't honestly terrify you, I don't know what the fuck will, because this is scary. So you're telling me that because I have a Spanish last name, now I'm a direct target? So I can be pulled over by a cop, and I did confirm this information. So I want to hear all you fucking little Trumpies and MAGA come at me, because I will bring a cop on here that will verify word for word what I am saying. If you get pulled over by a cop and they ask you for your license and your license cannot be found, they will ask you for your social. If your social cannot be found, most likely ICE has erased you from the database in order to be able to deport you illegally if you get pulled over and you are Latino. This is fucking disgusting what this country has come to. Let me know in the comments what you think of the situation. Spread this video for awareness, because this is serious, guys. This is very scary and very fucking serious. Once again, like every day and every fucking message, fuck Donald Trump, fuck this administration, fuck everybody who voted for him, and fuck ICE. Each day, every day, all fucking day. Guys, be safe out there. You see something, say something, my loves. We need to stick together. Again, you see ICE, bounty hunters playing snatchies, stand up, open your mouth, say something, do something. We can't allow this to happen in the United States of America in 2025, guys. I love you. Be safe.
ICE is wiping people's identities away just for their last name. I saw a video of a guy who got pulled over the other day, white presenting man, got pulled over by the police. They asked for his ID. They told him they couldn't find anything in the system, asked him for his ID, asked him if he had several different IDs from other states, which he did. He gave them those, asked him for his social security number, couldn't find anything about this man in their system. Called the sergeant. The sergeant comes, checks him out, is like, cool, you're good. The guy's like, no, wait, why can't you find me in your system? The sergeant goes, you can thank ICE for this. They've wiped all of your information from the system. They flagged you because of your last name, because he has a Hispanic looking last name. Not only are they flagging people, they're wiping people's identity away on record so that when they go to pick people up, they have no way of verifying whether or not they're actually a U.S. citizen. Understand the severity of that. They are wiping people's identities away who may be valid U.S. citizens, who are U.S. citizens, who live in America. They're wiping their identities away in order to justify picking them up and deporting them to a country that they've never been to. We are at war.
Why aren't they taking gang members? Why is ICE not taking gang members and serious criminals? You have to ask yourself that question. And once you hear yourself say it out loud, come up with an answer. Why do you think ICE is doing all of these raids and they're going to places where people actually work, like restaurant workers, farmers, car wash attendants? Why is ICE going after that? Trump said he was going to get rid of the worst of the worst. He was going to start with the worst of the worst. He has yet to do that at all. There are known gangs and gang members and leaders of gangs, like very well known to the government in this country, and none of them have been taken by ICE. So you want to know what I think? I'll tell you exactly what I think. The reason that they are targeting regular, hard-working, undocumented workers, but a lot of them are documented. They're just grabbing them, but they're not going into the really dangerous neighborhoods. So the reason they're doing it is because they want to damage our economy. That's exactly it. That's really the only reason. And that's what dictatorships do. They want to weaken and damage the economy slowly without you noticing. How do they do that? They arrest farm workers. What happens when they arrest those farm workers and deport them? Who is going to pick all of the vegetables and the fruits? They're going to all of these places that provide unbelievable amounts of labor, number one. Number two, billions of dollars in tax dollars, because a lot of these undocumented, most of them actually, or people who are here on visas and whatnot, they pay billions of dollars into our tax system. So the only reason, the only explanation as to why they're not going after the really bad criminals is because those people won't have an effect on our economy because they don't work legitimately. Boo! You heard me, huh? They don't work legitimately. They provide zero incentive to destroy an economy. How can Trump destroy our economy? Very easily. Get rid of all these skilled and very much needed laborers, the labor force. And that is exactly what he's doing.
Anyone with Hispanic or Mexican last names are getting their names erased from databases. People are reporting that they're getting pulled over and they're being asked for their ID for identification. And once they run their names, they're showing that they're not there. Even having to go as deep as asking for their social security numbers. This is getting scary just because they're trying to deport anybody that's immigrant. So if you have any connections, like say your family was here as an immigrant, but then they became citizens, they're trying to erase you guys, his names from the database. So now you're basically here illegally. That's how they're trying to connect everybody, and that's how they're stating that they can deport U.S. citizens. ICE is doing that, and then that ups their quota. That gets more people out of here. Any connection with Mexico or any type of Hispanic last name. This has been actually a lot of videos of people stating that they've been getting pulled over and having to go as far as asking for their social security number just to find out that they actually are American citizens. So now they're stating you should definitely be carrying your ID, your driver's license, passports, social security numbers. Keep stuff on you if you're Hispanic or Mexican. You don't want to be getting caught trying to get stuck in some weird scenario. As you've seen that there's been a lot of U.S. citizens already be getting arrested. So stay aware, just stay prepared for anything. These are crazy times. This administration is always pushing some more agenda against us. So you got to stay safe and you got to stay aware, you guys. All right? Just another word from me. I'm going to keep putting this word out. I appreciate it. I'll talk to you guys soon. Stay strong, America.
Alright guys, this is really scary. This is really scary. First of all, I don't know how true is this. Apparently, a couple of people are climbing up with these stories online and reporting how, they're being pulled over by the police and basically showing them their basic documents like license and being found not being in the system, in the database, just because they have Hispanic last name, And if this is true, this is really, really scary. This is scary for a lot of people, especially those who are born in the United States. Can you imagine being born in a country, all your life, doing your schooling there, living your life there, seeing presidents come, presidents go, going ahead and voting for MAGA, expecting nothing to happen to you because, you know that you are safe actually. You're safe from the Lord. You're safe from, the immigrants. Your great-great-grandfather might have been an immigrant, but you think that you are safe until you're pulled over by the police and they tell you that you're not in the database. And guess what the police tells you when you try to interrogate or ask for further question because you do not understand what's happening because they are asking for your social security number. And the police goes ahead and tells you you might want to thank ICE for this. Well, this is what might actually be happening to some American citizens with last names which are Hispanic or Spanish. Now, to the victim that we have seen in this video, he's not even a Latino. He's not even from Mexico. He's not even from South America. I think his, last name came from Spain, or his great-great-grandparents who actually immigrated in the United States came from Spain, not from Latin America. And if you look at the man, he's actually Caucasian, he's a palm-colored person. Now, being pulled over and to be told that your documents are actually as good as fake when you've been using your documents for years, it's quite scary because that is a crime in itself. It's a crime of fraud, and that might put you in danger of being arrested. So if you have a last name, a Spanish last name, well, you might not be safe from just being born in the country, because we all know reports back then when they were looking for loopholes to revoke birthright citizenship, for those whose parents actually came into the country illegally. Because in the United States, normally your parents can come in as illegal immigrants, hustle, and bustle to get papers and see it become impossible for them. But if they have you, if they bear you, if you're born in the United States from your illegal parents, you automatically become a citizen of the United States by birthright. Well, this is what a lot of people have been benefiting from who immigrated to the United States, because a lot of immigrants, even students actually, do get married, to have babies in the United States who become, legal citizen, and that might actually later help them, get citizenship themselves. Now, the problem is that a lot of these Spanish people, Hispanic people who are actually born in the United States voted for MAGA. They voted for the orange man, thinking that, nothing was going to happen to them because they of course have the citizenship, they have the birthright citizenship. So they voted for hatred, they voted for racism. But look at what's happening now. Now ICE wants to delete you from the database so that your papers actually become illegal, so that they cannot be questioned when they actually deport you back to South America. And some conspiracy theorists actually have been saying that it is estimated by analytics that the Hispanic community is going to become the largest group in the United States. And this might actually be the reason why they are deporting a lot of Hispanics back to South America, because they are going to become the majority. And when you become the majority, what do you have? You have voting power. That is number one. Number two, you will have the economy, the money power. Well, when you have those two things, actually, you can do great things. You can do whatever you want. So maybe they are threatened by that. Who knows? Let me know in the comment section, guys. What do you think about this story? And if anybody knows anything about it, let me know if this guy was, telling the truth or not. But I thought it was a good video to let you guys know and notify you guys, especially for those of you who watch this channel and you might actually have a Hispanic last name and you're a citizen of the United States. Drop your opinions in the comment section below. Let's keep the conversation going there. I'm your presenter, Joel Mugisha. If you're new, kindly consider subscribing. And as always, see you on the next episode.